Sure. Okay, we are live.
And
Hello.
we are live. Welcome to the Jerbil cast.
Hello, and welcome to the Jerbil cast. As always, I am your host, Jordan, aka George313, and this is my friend Ash. Say hello, Ash.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
So today it's going to be a bit shorter than usual, as per we both have some things that we need to get done in about an hour, so it's going to be a bit shorter than usual, and I have a ton that I need to talk about. Ed, do you have a lot that you need to talk about too?
Like I said on the last episode, I restrict a little bit of anime watching, but it doesn't mean I haven't watched anything. I have some shows that I watched. But since you have the most watch time, well, why don't you begin?
Okay, I will do that. So I'm going to start with what I finished in this last couple weeks, which I finished 5 different shows. So I have a lot that I need to talk about. But I'm going to list them up first. I finished the first season of Fate Zero, which there's I don't have a note here, but I have a note in my head, and that note is nothing happened. There's a bunch of character building and a bunch of world building. Nothing else. Nothing happened. And I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 2, and things finally start happening. So I'm looking forward to the second season. I finished Domestic Girlfriend, which I'm gonna have to go in depth on that one. Don't have a lot of time. I watched both seasons of Real Girl 3D, whatever. Yeah, I finished both seasons of that. Which another thing that I need to go into. Finished Golden Time, and I watched the 3 newest episodes of High Score Girl that came out a couple weeks ago. So start with, since I've already pretty much said my piece on Fate Zero, nothing happened.
I'll tell you what, maybe to make it more organized, start with the ones that are smallest.
The smallest ones?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess what I could talk about would be High Score Girl. Have you finished the 3 newest episodes?
Me? No, I didn't. But don't worry. I mean, I know the gist of it. I've seen the first season.
Okay.
And I'm not much of a spoiler kind of thing. Don't worry.
Go. So, as you probably remember, in the last episode of the series proper, I'm terrible with names. You know this. I'm sorry, but the blonde girl confessed to the main character, and to go out, they have to do a fighting game tourney type thing, and this is how it went. It's they played 3 different games. They played Darkstalkers, they played I want to say Virtua Fighter, and they played King of Fighters 2. And they did a tourney in each game where the first to 2 wins won that round, and the first to 2 wins out of the 3 games won. And if the main character won, they didn't have to go out, and if the other person won, they had to go out. The first one, the girl won because it was Darkstalkers, and she was playing a super overpowered character. The second one, the main character won because, well, first of all, he was fighting against Rugal, who is the best character in King of Fighters in that age anyway. I'm not sure if that's still true.
Bless you.
But she had Rugal. Once he beat Rugal with his final character, she didn't know how to play the other character. She was betting on that she could beat him as Rugal, who is, like I said, the most overpowered character in King of Fighters 1 or 2, whichever. And then in Virtual Fighters, it was super close, but he ended up winning, bragged to her, and then got punched in the face.
Oh.
That's just like the first episode of this new arc. The second arc was pretty much about the main girl character. I think her name was Ono or something. I'm terrible with names. Was, as you know, was being held at her house and couldn't leave at all. And they were trying to figure out ways to get her out of her house so that her and I think is the main character could hang out and go play games. And the third episode, which was the last one, was when they actually were able to go to this huge fighting game convention or gaming convention and play a ton of games. And the main character realized, hopefully anyway, it wasn't explicit, realized that he was in love with Ono, which was like, sorry, excuse my language, but fucking finally. I mean, come on. It's like, you gave her a ring in elementary school, found her again, and have not been able to stop thinking about her. It's like, come on, man.
What else do we need? Do you need like a signal or something?
I know, it's like
a big billboard.
It's obvious that she likes you, and it's obvious to everyone but you that you like her. It's like, come the fuck on, dude.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, and think about it, this is like a pretty basic episodic anime with just like 12 episodes or 24 per season. Imagine like one of those animes where like they're really long and you know that the MC likes her and she likes him, but neither of them are honest, and it just keeps dragging on until you suddenly just give up. It's like, you know what, fuck it. Like,
yeah,
I'm not even gonna touch
it's unlike some shows like the next one I'm gonna get into, Real Girl, where they started dating at the first episode, and it's just like the first season. I'm not sure when the season's separated because I was watching it on Verve, which they don't separate the seasons for some reason, and the first season was super, super, super awkward. Like, super awkward.
Yeah.
And that's really all I can say about it. The first season was very, very awkward. And I almost dropped it a few times. But I was like, okay, it's coming to a point where it's coming towards the second half of whatever is happening. After that, it got a lot better organized. Like the writing, the screen product, it was so much better after like the second season. I think was so much better than the first. And then
really?
After I finished it, I was like, okay, let me see if I can go find the second season. I was like, and then I went to my anime list to find out where I could find it. And I realized, wait, this says that the first season is 12 episodes, and I just watched 24. So I guess I watched both seasons because the end of what I was watching was very final, and because it's like the whole thing is like the preface is, in the first episode she says, "Oh, but we can go out, but I'm going to have to transfer." At the end of this semester, so we can only date for 6 months. What actually happens is she has a brain tumor, which she has to get surgery to get removed, and once it's removed, she will not be able to remember anything. Yet another show that I've watched in the last 3 months that involves amnesia. Yay.
What is with you and amnesia shows?
Well, I watched Eden of the East.
You didn't even pick it by purpose.
I watched Eden of the East. I watched Golden Time,
which I suggested,
and Golden Time, which you suggested, and Real Girl.
And that one was you. I mean, yeah, you pretty much had like
it's like
amnesia week.
So many amnesia stuff, and it's just like, okay.
Like after a while, you're gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna rewatch all these anime because I don't remember anything.
Oh my god. But yeah, after that it was super good because it went into like, it wasn't just based on their relationship. A couple of the side characters got into relationships, so it was also them trying to traverse what is happening in their lives to become a better couple and everything. And it was really good. The second season was really good, and my favorite character was, it came up like late first season or mid first season, and then she was a thing in the second season, but it was much less so. And that was kind of a bummer. And then the two side characters that play the straight man, because of course they have to be two characters that play the straight man in this show because there's just so many characters. They ended up dating, and in the last two episodes, which the last like episode and a half, there's a time jump and they're in the future where they're all like, I think it was 25 years old. The underclassman who Ito, the best friend, was dating is nowhere to be found because apparently they broke up a long time ago. Ito is an anime designer. Main character, I think it's Tsutsui, was a salaryman and apparently was really good at it. And the two straight men, I think it's Takanashi and Ishino, were getting married and about to have a kid.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, okay.
It's good that you actually mentioned that it gets better because I actually had dropped it,
Yeah, it gets so much better, man. It gets
I dropped it when because I don't know, it's when I saw him that, everything is good, she's there, she's not being like everything, and then he just becomes such an insecure little bitch. And I was like,
that doesn't exactly end, but it's less at the forefront of it, and it's more so like he wants to help his friends become better at their relationships, and then he's awkward in that way more so than awkward in his own relationship, which is less of like, oh, I'm mad at you and now you have to figure out why. And it was like, oh, I don't know why, Ishino, please help me. Because that's exactly how it was. The whole first season is that. And then in the second season, it drops that entirely, and more is on Ito and I can't remember the underclassman's name, and then Ishino and Takanashi's relationship at the end, and also apparently Tsutsui and Takanashi's younger siblings' relationship at some point, because that happens. And then there's a point where like they find out that Tsutsui's father has been cheating on his mother, so he has to figure out why that happened and try to get them together because he doesn't want to have to move to Kyoto away from main girl character, who apparently I can't remember her name either. And what I really liked about it is during the time jump, there's points where you're following main girl character and her brother, who apparently has a huge like crush on her for whatever reason. And they're in Tokyo to see where she grew up. I think it's Tokyo anyway. Whatever. She's back from Los Angeles to where she grew up because she wants to learn more about her. They run into Tsutsui, and he's like a sobbing mess because it's like, oh, you don't remember me. I knew this was gonna happen, but I don't care. I did blah blah blah. Like, I don't want you to be hurt because I'm this. So it's like, whatever. It's like, it's okay. I remember you now. Which is like, okay. It was really cool in the moment, and then she moves back there. They start dating again, and then the final shot, or the final scene, Ito, Takanashi, Ishino, they're now, I think, 2-year-old. And underclassmen are going to see Tsutsui and Igarashi, that's her name, getting married, and it's just like cool fidelity, and I really liked it.
Yay,
it is
thumbs up.
It's very tropey, but I really liked it. Okay, so I did put it on my anime list. I gave the first season a 6, and I think I gave the second season an 8. Because the first season is good, it's just very awkward, if that makes sense. Next, I will talk about Domestic Girlfriend, which, again, it's very awkward, but in a different way. It's not supposed to be awkward. It's just like about episodes 6 through 8, they lean way in on, oh hey, we're siblings, we can't do this, but let's do it anyway. It's very much like that. And then after that episodes, they kind of drop that, which is why I didn't drop it at episode 9. But they leaned way into the incest thing, and it was just very awkward, and I almost dropped it.
Which in a kind of way it's not.
I mean, they're not, they're step siblings, but they leaned way into, oh, but we're siblings, we can't do this, and then they did it anyway. So it's like, yeah, okay, I don't like this.
I pretty much liked the premise of the first episode, so I just picked up the manga and I read that.
Yeah. And then the teacher, aka older sister, and main character start dating, sleep together, and then apparently, like, they go on a school trip. They get together in a hotel room. In a picture taken by a student, they are seen in their hotel room. Teacher is forced to quit and moves away without talking to main character. He gets depressed, writes a story about it, gets whatever, he wins an award with his book that his teacher put into a contest, and becomes a writer, which was his goal throughout the entire series. And it's just like, that isn't that just convenient? So
very convenient.
I don't know, I liked it, but definitely not as much as 3D Girl. And I don't know, I really liked it. And then
being such a serious kind of, like, I would say,
it felt a lot like Scum's Wish, which I never watched it. I read the entire manga, but it felt a lot like what Scum's Wish felt like reading it. And for me, it was more like, even though that's intended for a more mature audience, and quintuplets it's more for a shonen audience, but I feel the writing and character development on quintuplet is so much better. Yeah, I agree.
Like, for being a shonen, like a manga.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much better. I mean, I get it. That's for older audience, that's for younger. But look, let's just compare based on writing style, story development, character development, and everything. You know? I mean,
I like all of the characters in this Domestic Girlfriend. All of the characters are really likable, except for the mom. I don't understand the mom. She's just there.
The mom.
The mom.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
she's just kind of there. She doesn't really have a personality at all.
No, she just felt, just there for the sake of it.
Yeah, she's there to, like, she's the
to make up the whole scenario.
She's the catalyst of, oh hey, I'm marrying this woman, so now you're siblings. That's the only reason why she's there. The father is there because he's supposed to be a relatable character, which he is. I really like the father. The mom's just there. There's nothing else you can really say about that. Okay, I'm tangenting. I need to get back to the next show, which the next show I have here is Golden Time. And I really ended up really liking it after. I didn't think I would, because Coco is, I don't like Coco as a character. I really don't. And I was starting to really unlike Tada Bonri. And I was also starting to really dislike Linda. But at the end of it, it's like, first of all, I gotta talk about one thing that changed my mind throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
The car crash. The car crash.
Oh yeah, that's a very vital,
And after the car crash, when he went to her room, it's like, I know I'm being a fucking idiot. It was like, she understands this, and that's what makes it better. She understands that she's being a fucking idiot throughout this whole thing. And that like raised my score of the show from like a 7 to a 9. It's like she knows that she's an insufferable character, and that made me look at it so much differently.
See?
And then 2D-kun grew a lot in the last couple arcs. And he came to a character that I ended up really liking, instead of a character who was just there to like as a catalyst for whatever was happening, and I loved it.
I think this anime is like a well wrapped.
Oh yeah, the first half was kind of slow, and I don't know, it felt kind of awkward, and I didn't really like it. But the last half was really good.
Yeah,
with the whole thing,
like a normal thing. Like,
with the whole thing, like,
and everything.
With the whole thing, like, his old self is coming back and he's forgetting everything. That was really interesting, because I'd never seen that type of writing before. It's like, I have amnesia, I can't remember my past, but my old self is coming back, so maybe I won't remember my present. That was really interesting, because I'd never seen anything like that. But the whole thing where like him and Linda became good friends, which they weren't really before. There was just like, Linda's this person that I knew from my past, but they actually become friends in the present, which was really cool. And then Oka became a more round character, because at first she was just kind of, I don't know, I really liked Oka because she seemed like there was a deeper surface behind it, and there was. She grew a lot because when she saw Bonri with Linda, she went crazy. And then in the bedroom, in Bonri's apartment, when he and Oko were there, that whole thing was just gut wrenching. And where he was just like, don't tell Coco that I'm remembering things, and then they break up, and it's super, I don't know. I don't know if it's weird or just, but I really liked it after that, and a lot of things happened, especially in the last few episodes. It was so deep. So, man, I'm really glad I watched this, because I never even like looked into it before, but I really liked it. So yeah, Golden Time was one that I'm really glad you told me about.
Because once I figure out, I mean, of course, you have a diverse taste in all sorts of animes, except shonen, excluding some shonens, I would say.
Some shonen, yeah.
Okay, because I don't the basic gist of what you like and don't like.
I'm not a fan of like shonen action, and I'm not a huge fan of fantasy anymore. I used to like fantasy a bit. I really like mythology. Fantasy is just something that I never really got into. Oh, and I finished Napping Princess. It was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was a movie. I thought I'd put that in there. I finished that yesterday. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible. Meh.
Neutral, just a thing.
It was a thing.
Based on that, I have a very diverse, I would say, this very hardly an anime that I won't like. Like I told you, it's all about the story, You can give me anything. Horror, sci-fi, shonen, shoujo, AI, boys love, whatever. Like the story needs to be good.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, you know what? I think Golden Time Jordan's gonna watch, and I'm happy that you
I really did like it. I didn't think I would because of what had happened up until that point. I really did not like Coco. But at the end it turned it around, like complete 180. But I do have to say, it's definitely not my favorite show. I still have to give that to Pet Girl of Sakura So.
Oh yeah, we all have that one show that nothing can take it off.
But
for me, Code Geass is Code Geass. I can rewatch it again and again. But you know what? With all this hyped up, you gave
the
me
opening is my
time.
favorite song, though. I gotta say, the opening of Code Geass is my favorite song.
Oh,
I love
you
Flow.
Told me that you like that band.
I love Flow. I love Colors. There's so many like shows that have Flow as their that the Flow does the opening of that. I don't think I'd ever watch, but Flow is just such an amazing band, and the fact that like they form a super band with Gran Rodeo.
They do.
It's amazing. Again, I'm getting too off topic.
That's okay. You can put it on a side note for like more topics to talk about.
Yeah, but you already know I'm way into music. I'm way into everything like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Flow is one of my favorite bands, and Colors is my favorite song. There's nothing that compares to just the power that it has. The music video is really cool too. Like they're all in different cubes and stuff, and then it's really cool. I really like it. And then Days is another really good song. Sign is a really good song. Man, Flow is I can't talk about Flow enough.
And they match really well with Grand Rodeo.
They do. I think that's all for the ones that I finished. I talked about Domestic Girlfriend. I talked about Real Girl. Talked about Golden Time. Talked about High Score Girl. Yeah, that's all for what I finished. And then throughout the week, I started, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different shows. That's a lot. Yeah. But I'm just going to go down the line. I started watching We Never Learn, or Bokutachi wa Benkyo ga Dekinai, which is basically the same as quintessential quintuplets with a smaller budget.
With a smaller budget.
That's all I can really say about it. I'm not sure I'm going to keep it up because it's like the whole thing with quintessential quintuplets is you learn about their past and about the different things throughout the series. And we never learn. They lay it all on the table in the first episode. So there's like, why keep watching it? Because you know what's going to happen in the end. There's going to be more characters that come in, but it's going to be very formulaic. I don't think I will watch it.
You gotta love it when the writer already tells you the ending, but how it's gonna happen. That's the interesting part.
Yeah,
but I feel writing styles,
Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep watching the first few episodes. I'm not sure I'm going to finish it though. I will say that, and I'm gonna come back. I watched the first episode. I think the second episode is out now, but I haven't finished it. But I haven't watched it. I watched the first 2 episodes of Fruits Basket, which it's good, not the best, not the worst. I feel like it's not formulaic at all. It's a really cool story, but I don't feel connected to any of the characters. They're just I don't know. None of the characters are really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Joshi Kosei, which doesn't translate well. Which I felt it does not translate well. It passed like my one thing I was hoping for. It's very slapstick. There's no dialogue. Well, no spoken dialogue, which was like my one thing that I was hoping for. They started with the wrong chapter. I just got to say that. They started with the incorrect chapter to start with. They should have started with a different chapter, because the one that happened, it's like, oh, hey, here's 3 characters that you know nothing about. They're just hanging out, having a good time, and doing nothing. Nothing happened. It's just like, okay, whatever. It was just very boring, very, very weird. I don't think I'll watch a few more episodes to see what happens. I don't think I will keep watching it. I watched Hitori Bochi no Marumaru Seikatsu, which it's interesting. It's about this person this girl who went into middle school and is now away from her best friend, and she has crippling social anxiety, which really set me off because I have really bad social anxiety too. And the thing is, she has to make friends, or her old friend will not be friends with her anymore, because that's not stupid in itself. And it's her being very anxious and awkward is really endearing. The only problem with it, she is insufferably stupid. Like, it's just she's really awkward, she's really anxious, which is cool. She is the dumbest thing. She is so dumb, because it's like, oh, my friend's mad at this is from the second episode. My friend's mad at me, I better read a book to figure out how to apologize. And the book is like Making Friends for Dummies or something like that, or for idiots. No. I don't know. She reads it. It's like how to make up with a friend, or how to apologize with a friend. And it's like dress modestly and give her cake. It's like, and I was like, but how do I dress modestly? I only have my gym uniform. So a bunch of stuff happens. I think it would have been better if it were a short form show, but no, it's 24 minutes long. The show is 24 minutes long, and the story could have been told in 12, which is the big mistake of the show. It's like a short story in a long format, so they have to fluff it, and it's like, okay, at the end, she's in her school PE uniform, and she goes to her friend and is like, I'm sorry, this, but why are you mad at me? And it's just like, yeah, whatever, okay. And it's just like, nothing happened here. What's going on? I don't understand. And it's just like, this show is funny. I gotta say, her new friend is really funny and really cool. And it's like, what's really funny is there was like a flashback sequence, and the friend kept doing the thing where she's on one side and taps her other shoulder, and it's like, huh? What's going on? There's nobody here. Who's just tapping me on the shoulder? She never realizes that it was the friend there that was tapping her on the shoulder after she did it like 4 times. And it's just, what? She's insufferably stupid. And I don't understand why. And it's making me upset, if you couldn't tell. But I need to move on, because that's 4 of my 8 shows. The next one is it's called Ao-chan Can't Study, which you may have seen this one around. It's the one where there's a girl who her father is a erotic novelist, and she's trying to get away from her family because of that. And she's very straight-laced, very like prim and proper, except this guy who she hates confesses to her, and now all she can think about is having sex with him, because that's not awkward at all. And it's hilarious to the point where it's funny that she's misunderstanding him, but it's like, how can you get a misunderstanding from this? Almost. It's like, he really likes you and he wants to date, but it's like, oh, he only wants to have sex with me, and blah, 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 blah. And it's, the misunderstandings are funny but stupid at the same time, and she's supposed to be like the highest grade in her school, but at the same time she is so socially awkward that it's funny. And that's really all I can say about that. I watched the first 2 episodes and not a lot has happened. I also watched After Lost, which is really interesting. It's about this girl who this city just one day vanished. It was no more, and they call that event Lost. And the show is about a courier who has to take this girl who was the sole survivor of Lost and take her to Lost to find her father, who apparently also survived but is still there for some reason. And it's just their journeys there. I watched the first episode, and it looks very low quality, but then again, I watched it on Hulu, so what are you gonna do? And that's the gist of it. They go there, and they have to escape an organization which at the end was headed apparently by the main girl's brother, apparently. And at the end of the episode, he orders the people with him to kill the courier, who one of them is a former friend of the courier, and it ends with her shooting him. And that's the end. The last shot is like, he's like, I'll do it. Pans away, there's a shot, and that's it. End credits roll, and it's like, okay. But it's very low quality animation. The story seems to be really interesting. I might see where it goes from here. I don't see it being one that I'll necessarily like, but I will keep watching it. I think that's... Oh, and there's 2 short form shows that I started, but I don't know if I'll keep watching because it's very like etchy, and I don't know. There's Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher? And it's basically this
just the name,
yeah, this guy gets in weird compromising positions with his teacher. That's it. And I've watched an episode, and it's 12 minutes long, and it's also cut into sub episodes. So it's like each sub episode is 5 minutes. The first one, it's like he's stuck in a stall with his teacher in the men's room for whatever reason. And the second one is he went to the nurse's office, or the infirmary, whatever you want to call it, to skip class, and she's there sick, and she asks him to give her medicine, and the only medicine there that would help with whatever she had was a suppository. And that's what happened there.
God, you gotta say, like, sometimes there are some animes which,
and it's
a very weird way to go on about, you know?
It's funny.
It's just there for the fun of it.
That's what it is. It's just stupid funny. That's all there is to it.
I think what the writer is, whatever he's trying to, that's what the goal is,
Yeah. And then
Just wants to,
there's
make fun.
Nobunaga's Young Bride, which is about this teacher who wants to find someone to be with, and
Nobunaga's Young Bride.
he somehow, like, Oda Nobunaga, the warlord, his young bride.
I've seen way countless stuff based on him.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not gonna keep watching that one. I might watch the second episode, but I don't see myself carrying through because
What's up with this blonde chick? I mean, come on, those bosons are not even like realistic size.
Yeah, but that's what I've watched this last couple weeks, and if I could say what I would probably keep watching, I can see myself watching Outron Can't Study, We Never Learn, and Fruits Baskets. Out of the 8 that I watched, those are the ones I can see myself continually watching, and I might keep watching After Lost. So 4 out of 8 isn't bad. I might keep watching the other ones just to see if they get better, but I don't see myself continuing those. But yeah, We Never Learn, Fruits Basket, and Outron Can't Study. Those are the ones I see myself watching, and then maybe After Lost. Oh, there's one more that I watched that I didn't finish because I fell asleep. But I did watch it. I watched the first episode of One Punch Man, and the art is different. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's different.
I actually watched the first episode of One Punch Man as well, and yeah, I gotta say, yes, things are different. I mean, it is a different studio, but it's not as bad as I imagined.
It's not as bad as it's getting credit for. I didn't hate it. I gotta say, I didn't hate it. It wasn't as good as it was, which in the first place, it's not supposed to be very good because it's a one manga, but
yeah,
it looked cool. The story was pretty interesting. I thought it was really funny.
And trust me, that's the same feeling of a majority of people.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying the same thing, because it is true. I mean, because you gotta say, I mean, the thing is, the original staff, of One and company, they're always involved, like whether it was that studio or that studio.
Yeah.
So you gotta admit, I mean, some changes were to be present, but they did their job in maintaining. Like, they didn't like completely destroy it. I mean,
yeah, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like the worst show I've ever watched.
Animation went really bad because the first one was like over the top, amazing, and everything. Even the opening remember the opening? The first. I'm not talking about the song, but the animation.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and on the second one, you can see it's pretty downgraded, but.
Well, yeah, but
overall, to all, if people love One Punch Man from the core, they'll keep watching it.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, the director is bad at his job," and a lot of people are
people being people, man. They always
a lot of people were. Let me see if I can't find it.
People just being people. They always say shit like that, I mean, you can never make people happy. The cool thing is that once you know that, you win. Like, you literally win everything. You just keep going at it, and people come back.
Yeah.
New gen of Pokemon comes in. Oh my god, new gen and this and everything. I hate it. I'm not gonna buy it. And I'm like, yeah. Tell that to the sales. I was literally looking like of sales of Pokemon video games. They're not stopping, man. And all those bunch of crap and everything, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's not.
I still watch Pokemon. I don't watch it like religiously, but I still watch it. I watched all of X and XYZ.
I'm not talking about the anime. I'm talking about the video game.
Yeah, everybody still plays the video games. Everyone that I noticed anyway.
People, the new gen comes in. Oh my god, the star looks this. Gen 1 is the best. You remember back in the days of Gen 3, Ruby's the best.
A lot of people are,
and I'm like,
a lot of people I've seen have said like Diamond and Pearl are the best. A lot of people that I've heard say that Diamond and Pearl is the best, not the Gen 1.
Well, let's see. So you got Gen 1, like the religious kind of people.
Red, blue, yellow.
Went there and Then you got like people saying that Diamond and Pearl had an amazing story, lots of legendaries and everything.
Hmm.
Black and White was like so, like
I
not
can
a
agree
lot
with
of,
that. I wasn't a huge
know.
fan of Black and White.
Okay, but if you combine it with the sequel, then people actually enjoyed it.
See,
X and
I
Y
only,
was actually the crappiest of them all, from what
yeah,
people are saying,
I
because
liked
they
I liked X and Y
all
the
they
game.
gave
I did
you.
not like Black 2. I only played Black 2. I didn't play Black and White. I liked
Oh no,
this.
Black and White and Black and White 2 are like absolutely like compulsory. It's a story basically.
Yeah,
It's like a sequel.
I didn't like Black and White 2, I gotta say.
Well, if you play Black and White, I don't know. I say just maybe you could have enjoyed Black and White 2 more.
Maybe, I don't
Because
know.
if you're a fan of a story, like for me, it's not just about catching that Pokemon, catch them all, and fill up a fucking Pokedex. But I
Yeah.
literally, like, I'm one of those people who literally go, like, when I visit a town, I talk to every NPC because I want to see, what's the story behind this? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, I
That
get
kind of
that.
thing.
I get that.
And that's the cool thing when it happens. Like when I'm playing Final Fantasy, I was making a new character in someone else's server, and it was so fun because then it was like, oh, we need to go to this place, but we gotta go through with the chocobo. You know what the chocobo is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you gotta go with the chocobo. And it was like, oh damn it, but dude, you're making a new character in my server, so you're just level 1 and I'm like level like 70, so I have
Right.
like the mount,
Mm-hmm.
which you can only attain at level 25. And I'm like, no problem, I'm gonna rent a chocobo. And he was like, yeah, but the chocobo rent will only give you 2 places. And I said, no, dude, I'm literally gonna rent a chocobo. Like I'm gonna have a chocobo for like 3 minutes, but I can command it. And he was like, what? What? And I was just laughing at there. I mean, are you guys fucking serious? You were like going all, oh, me, I'm a veteran and everything, and I'll teach you the ways. And you don't know this? And I'm like, well, there you go, guys. That's my Pokemon playing habit, which is talking to every NPC in a
Yeah.
city. And that's how I found out that you can, even if you're a level 1 character and you need, like, to go to places faster, there is in the main towns, a rent a chocobo service, because there's 2 ways. There's the one where you can have a taxi chocobo,
Mm-hmm.
which you have no control whatsoever. It just goes to A to B. And then you
Right.
have rent a chocobo.
But you can ride
Where,
yourself.
yeah, you can just manually write it wherever you want.
Mm. It's like in.
But in any case, next anime.
I think that was all of them.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
I'll go through my list, which is not even that many. But since when I have some dinner and everything, I gotta watch something.
Mm-hmm.
So I did manage to complete this 12-episode anime, which was on Netflix, Ultraman.
Ooh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
Now, that's a cool thing. I never got into the Ultraman lore, what's happening and whatnot. So a lot of things for me some pieces were missing. Because here it's all about Ultraman's son.
Mm-hmm.
So, there were a lot of lores and everything going on, like, he is the father and everything. There were a lot of stuff missing, but I did watch it from episode 1 to 12.
Yeah.
And it was a fun ride. It was a lot of thing of a hero development who did not choose. Like I like for me it was personal because I like it when I see son and father related kind of animes.
Yeah.
Where the son has no choice in becoming a hero.
Yeah.
And now everybody's trash talking to him, saying like, "Who do you think you are?" and everything. And he's like, "Well, I did not choose to become one, so just give me a break."
That makes sense. I've never been
Yeah.
super into like Sentai shows like Ultraman and stuff like that, but
This
it does
one's a
look
little
really
bit
interesting.
different. I mean, it has a lot of. Well, the thing is, what I say, I have no idea what is that production company. But have you ever seen that anime Ajin?
Ajin, yeah. I watched a couple episodes, but that's one that it's like it's very grating on the eyes.
Well, see, that's the thing. That animation style, I love it.
The 3D animation.
Yeah, because I watched the Godzilla movies
Mm-hmm.
based on that animation.
Well, it's
And,
not. It's not just like the 3D animation that's part of it. It's also like heavy dark colors, like, and the oil textures, and it's very grating.
Well, I like it. I mean, I'm a big fan of new animation styles. In fact, when I watched the Broly movie of Dragon Ball Z, or Super, or whatever you want to call that, I
The
was
new Dragon
happy
Ball movie.
that they.
The new Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah, exactly. I was happy that the whoever director for that movie was and everything brought old school animation to it,
Mm.
like on the original Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I think is that what the animation industry is going farther up ahead is that a lot of people are going for new styles, but some people are bringing old school animation, and just bringing it. Like, for example, when I watched that Gundam Unicorn, and now suddenly they need to bring old characters to it. So I like it when they bring like old school animation style. Or also that another anime that I watched was I might make a mistake on saying name, but that woman called Fujiko Mine, the one from Lupin.
Oh, Lupin.
Yeah, Monkey Punch. So Lupin Sensei. So, but this one, a woman called Fujiko Mine, is like a spin-off. It's based on Fujiko Mine, that the MC girl woman. And I love the animation because they brought on like old school animation to it. It feels like you're literally watching an old school anime, but with the crisp quality of the new one.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at.
And I love it when they do that.
I'm looking at. I think it might be box art or something, but it looks really cool. And you can tell it's like based on like 70s animation and stuff.
Yeah, exactly, right? It gives you that old school vibe, and you're watching like 70s anime, but you can feel it from the cleanness and everything that you're watching in new anime. But
yeah,
it still has that vibe. I like it.
I'm getting that vibe from Persona 5 a lot. A lot of the still animations are like 80s, 90s inspired.
Yeah.
But the 3D CG is very much like based in the early to late 2000s, and it's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. I love it when past meets future.
Yeah.
When they mash it up and bring in something really cool.
Like different generations coming together. That's really cool.
Yeah, I like it, and all sorts of things. Anime, music. It just needs to be done right.
That's a lot of the a lot of the reason why I like the new Spider-Man movie, Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, how cool is that, right, dude? And actually winning a lot of awards.
Oh yeah,
it's just look at it, like the animation and the creativity of the directors of actually adding like comic snippets in the actual freaking, like, because you see like some scenes, action scenes, where they're like really quick, it freezes and it becomes a comic.
Yeah,
and then it goes back again.
I watched the documentary portion. Like there were special features on the DVD I watched. I watched the documentary part of it. That was super. I saw that, was like, I didn't notice that. And like how you've never seen the movie, right? Or have you?
No, I haven't seen it, but I know the gist of it. I'm gonna watch it once.
There's a portion where Miles is learning how to web swing, and he's there with Peter B. Parker doing it, and the FPS and everything, it's out of sync, and you can see it while you're watching it. It looks very awkward, but at the same time it looks so cool. And it's just, man, I liked when they talked about that. I was like, so that's what was happening there. I thought it was just my computer being a piece of shit. I really liked it.
Yeah, exactly. You love that kind of stuff. Like, see, that's having creativity in the details, because you have creativity in a story. You're actually making a story and the characters and everything. And then you have creativity in this like really little details, and that's what makes it good. Like, I literally have so many Disney movies that I want to rewatch again, because I know there's some stuff that maybe as a kid I did not understand, but now like an adult, I can understand all those underlying things.
Yeah, I get that.
I like it. I like how they go. Plus the inside puns, like in that Spider-Man movie, like I saw that from the trailer. Like So this is what happening. Say that for Comic Con. I'm like, what the fuck? Did you actually say that? I'm like, that's amazing. Bravo. Like, bravo.
There's I really liked the Stan Lee cameo because it's like what do I do if this doesn't, because he was working at like a costume store. I was like,
Yeah.
what do I do if this doesn't fit? It was like, it'll fit eventually. And then behind him there's a sign, no returns or exchanges ever. And it's just like, I could see Stan Lee doing that. Well, not anymore,
Yeah,
obviously.
but it's good. I mean, because even if you think about it, like Marvel did a really good job in having all these Stan Lee cameos,
Oh yeah,
and then they didn't made it like it's just a cameo. It actually had a significance.
yeah.
Like he isn't like an time travel agent or something
Hmm.
of I don't know, one of those people like
Yeah,
who do not get involved with the people.
I'm gonna
They
miss
just
the
there to document.
cameos. I'm gonna miss the cameos.
Yeah, you gotta say, man. I mean, he you know what? Sometimes there are some people who you really would like cry because they're not there. But there's some people where you just gotta salute to say thank you so much for bringing all these amazing characters.
Oh yeah.
He lived a good life,
Hmm.
an amazing job, inspired so many people, and you're just there. You're just saluting, and it's like you're gonna be forever be remembered in our hearts. See, that's
Definitely.
happiness. That's like living your life to the fullest, made something out of it, brought happiness to people, and then you just went down, and people are just gonna remember you.
Hmm. Okay, so we're
Next on
running.
anime list, let's see, we got like what 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, we were running out of time.
I
So
would say the last thing I watched. Oh, okay, not last thing. I read. My wife is Wagatsumi-san, so I'm up to the part where now he understands that when exactly they became a couple, and that was when he has a band. So he needs to form a band to marry Wagatsumi-san. Now, here's a funny thing. I
oh, I
actually really
remember
thought
this. Yeah, I remember
I
that
actually
part. Yeah.
really thought it's all gonna be about him and her, and maybe like I thought it's gonna be maybe one of those harem kind of thingy. But I love it how the DX Corp is involved so much.
Oh yeah.
Like they're not just like side characters, but they're actually
No, the
like,
DX core is a character in itself.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's funny because what's the thing that bothers me a lot, man? Like bothers me a lot. Like
Hmm.
there's a limit for me for everything. How can that glasses guy make a jokes about like is this do you have a sister in elementary school? Is the yeah, then you're my brother? Because he's a legit pedophile.
Yeah.
Like when you have that porn star, which of who they became friends with,
Hmm.
and it's so funny because he can touch anything and it will just it will reverse to what, because people say nah, you're just kidding, and then he just touched the fountain and he just squirted like he's got his magic hands or something. And everybody was asking advice from me, how can I get a girlfriend, everything. And the glasses guy, like the skinny one, is like, how can I literally like legally date a elementary. I'm like, how fucked up is that?
Yeah.
Like, how? Why? And
And then there's the fat ass that likes Maximum the hormone. He's literally me.
oh my god, he's amazing. He's amazing.
It's
Because I
like
gotta be honest, at the beginning, I was like, oh man, these guys are so annoying. They're kind of like one of those
they
loser
are
thingies.
they are super annoying, but it's also super endearing because it's like they're just themselves completely
Yeah,
and
exactly. I
utterly.
mean, the fun thing is that at the beginning, when I saw those two loser thing, I thought like like, I mean, there's a thing about like you can find assholes even in Insecure and maybe like I would say like even in like you can find assholes also around us geeks as well, right?
Exactly,
Those
yeah.
obnoxious, exactly. So I thought those were that kind of people, right?
Hmm.
That those two will be like all friendly and everything, but when it comes down to it, they'll be like all jealousy and making bad choices. But then I
Well,
found out no. I
they
mean,
kind of
in
do,
reality,
but
they
it's
have
in a point that it's
like
like it's supposed to be funny, so I
mhm.
understand it.
No, but that's the thing. They're just funny, but in the end of it, as every time I see these time leaps, I got grown so much to them because they're literally like a well knit like family.
Yeah.
including Sylvia. Like Sylvia is not like I mean, I don't know. I need to proceed the story, but like I thought, like Sylvia was like okay, just a chick who maybe is like maybe just another female chick who is just involved in the story, but she actually becomes part of the DX Corps, and you can
But
see like
yeah,
this group growing because now even the actual person Dojima, who the actual DX Corp literally meant, which is Dojima X, is now part of the DX Corp. So that's fucking stupid, but funny as well.
yeah, Dojima
Because
Cross. Yeah.
yeah, because DX Corp is exactly what I mean. It's Dojima Cross. It's same, but you gotta love it, like how Dojima was kind enough to confess that he doesn't feel like himself like when he's around all those people. I
Mhm.
wish that could be something true in the real world,
Yeah.
but it doesn't happen as always. Like people are just gonna
But
they are comfortable in keeping their appearances.
I think I understand where he's coming from. He doesn't feel like one of the DX Corps because he can't be honest with himself. And I think
Yeah,
that's the point that he's coming at. It's not necessarily that he doesn't like who they are and he thinks they're jerks and just too open with themselves. It's that he feels inferior because he cannot be open with himself.
But more importantly, Dojima doesn't he feels uncomfortable with around his normal friends, like his not normal friends, sorry, not a good choice of word. I would say his how do you say it? Like usual society kind of friends where
His
go
normie
watch movies
friends.
or something, because at the end of the day he can see that how they're trying so hard to be cool and everything.
Yeah, his non-otaku friends, I guess you would say.
Non-otaku friends, yeah. But because in a way, if you think about it, everyone is an otaku. Like
Yeah,
everyone has like if you think about it, what is an otaku at the end of the day? It's
someone who's
someone who is like very
passionate about something.
enthusiastic to something.
Someone who's passionate
So
about something. Yeah,
exactly, and what's wrong about that? I mean, you
there's
find old
nothing.
people who are otaku about like what do you call those like pennies, like collecting pennies. You got like the classic military dad they're talking about, like war history and the guns and everything. Everyone is talk about something.
Hmm.
It's just that the anime and I would
It's
say
come to have
manga.
in Japan at least, it's come to have the connotation that it's someone who is obsessed with and like strangely obsessed with anime and manga and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and is looked down upon. Which that's
Yeah,
not the
because
definition of the
in
word.
reality, I
It
mean,
is now,
sometimes it
but it's
gets a
not
little
the
too way off
dictionary.
hand.
Say again?
But because there's the positive side is that you can get inspired, right? Like you will
Definitely.
get inspired for music, for your art and everything, and that's when it's win-win.
Yeah.
You have like imagine if you're going out there like in the world where people are not watching anime, manga, or anything, and suddenly you just talk to someone about like certain stuff without the actual, like for example, you can talk about the story of the quintuplets without telling them that it's a story about a manga. You're just
Right.
saying it's just a story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly people say, wow, where does this guy gets all this sources and inspiration, everything? Like
Mm-hmm.
I can literally talk about Fate Stay Night to a normal person without mentioning about like because at the end of the day, what's the difference? It's just that that's animated and that's a novel which you can read, and what,
Mm-hmm.
that's the only difference. That's it. The content is the same. You can literally take the whole Fate Stay Night from zero to Unlimited Blade Bros and everything, take off all the animation, all the artwork and everything, just go plain old text and make a book, and there you go. It's just a novel.
Mm-hmm.
You can do the same thing with any other manga, quintuplets and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one of the reasons some people enjoy light novels. Maybe they just want to have more in-depth stories and have just a few images.
Mm-hmm. I
Pretty
get
much.
that. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm at the point of the manga.
Yeah. So we're pretty much out of time. But
Yep.
I do want to get if you can in the next like 5 minutes or so, my recommendation of the week. It could be anything. I'm feeling open right now.
Okay. Anything. Anything.
Anything. That is if I can find it on Hulu or Netflix.
Well, let me just see my Netflix list.
Or Crunchyroll.
Because there are some stuff that I wanted to. But no use on watching Crunchyroll because maybe you don't have it. You know what? I feel like Hulu has the more variety.
Out of everything, I think that would be true.
Wait, Hulu is available in Italy now? No, I don't think so. That's just only the page. Is it? Wow. I didn't know that. Wow. That's pretty cool. I might actually make a plan maybe one day. No, because usually you would go there, it's like, this website is not available in your country right now.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, damn you, America! Why? Why the good things? We always have to wait.
Yeah, one thing I still don't understand about Hulu is you pay for it and you still have to watch ads.
Really?
Yeah.
What? That's stupid, man. You're already paying for it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, damn. Well, that's weird. I mean, why would you pay for, like... I mean, it's really like... What about psychological anime?
Sure.
Let's see. Wow, a lot of movies, a lot of how about some series? See, One Punch Man, the new series, already there. Pretty
Yeah.
good. Fairy Gone is already a simulcast. Nice, man. These guys are got a way much better, let's say, like roster. Because I got
Much better than the
got, like,
Crunchyroll
main
manga.
roster of. Let's see. No, I'm not gonna torture you with JoJo.
Yeah, I know.
What about mecha anime? Do you like mecha anime?
Not really.
Okay.
If you were gonna say Eureka 7, I watched a few episodes and I didn't really like it.
Nah. I don't know. I don't think you're gonna like Yuki 7.
Yeah, I didn't really like it.
But you do like stupid kind of stuff anime, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
I think you've already seen Gate.
Gate? No, I haven't.
No?
No.
You're gonna love that.
Okay, I guess that's my one for this week then.
Yep, and it's on Hulu, so there you go. Now, I know that you're gonna think, oh, not another fantasy again, but it's actually different because it's military and fantasy.
Okay.
Let me just give you a quick synopsis so you'll not veto this.
Well, I've already said okay, so I can't really veto it now.
Okay, all right, cool. Go for it.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
So, I guess that is Jerbilcast for the day for today. I've already mentioned it Thursday, but I'm not going to be streaming on this upcoming Tuesday and Thursday. I'm going to be off until next Saturday because there's stuff that I need to take care of around the house and just get stuff started for my upcoming YouTube channel that is yet to have started.
And next Saturday we're gonna do game day and finish off that Final Fantasy. Your trial is already gonna be over.
Yeah, my trial is over already.
It's over already?
Yeah, it went until last I want to say Tuesday.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're gonna have to figure out something else. Maybe we can do like I don't know. We can talk about it throughout the week.
I gotta say, we have more stuff to talk about. We could do the Jerbil cast again.
That's true. Or
it all depends on us. It depends on us. We can like even right now, I could have really felt that there was so much other stuff that we could have talked about.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So just write those down, and we can definitely pull off another Jerbil cast Saturday.
Okay.
We'll just not talk about maybe Gate because you just started watching it.
Yeah. Who knows? I might finish it by then.
Yeah, because I think the stuff that we can talk about is maybe also like characters this time. Like, for example, which are the top 10 characters who deal with anxiety and deal with it?
Okay.
Like, we can talk about like Hachiman, you know?
Okay, yeah. We can do that. Cool.
Yeah, or even that chick from Watamote.
Dude, I loved that show. I don't see why so many people shit on it.
No, it's an amazing show.
Yeah, I loved that show. But so many people say it's super cringy. It was like, who cares? It was funny and amazing. I love it.
Nah, man. It's a good show, and we're definitely going to talk about it. So trust me, we're going to have stuff to talk about.
Definitely.
All right, coolies.
Cool. So, thanks for watching. If you did, we will be back next Saturday for more Gerbil Cast. Goodbye.